Hello, I'm Ethan Chazen, a New York-based human capital management consultant. Today's training webinar is on why your employees stay and why they leave. And so this is originally a video short that I recorded on our YouTube channel. Be sure to go down, by the way, subscribe and like the video. But I got a lot of feedback in terms of could I dive a little bit deeper into some of the ideas that I presented. So without further ado, here is a top 10, so to speak, list of why your people stay and why they choose to leave. So why do they stay? Let's start with the most positive. They stay because you've created an amazing place to work. It's a great culture. They like the people they work with. They like the work they're doing. They feel that they're treated equitably. They're working on a special project that empowers them or feels unleashes their untapped potential. Those are some really positive reasons why. Another very good reason why people stay is they like their manager. They like the person that they report to, which research shows is the most determinant factor of why people remain in their roles or stay committed to an organization, is the person who they look up to and report to on a day in, day out basis. So again, those are some of the reasons why your top talent remains with you. Now, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Where my consulting practice sees most of its traction is when organizations say, you know, we've identified a trend of people are not staying with us, or maybe they've checked out emotionally. So why does that happen? Well, the most clear indicators are you have a culture that is damaged, or perhaps even it's gotten so bad, it's toxic to your employees. What are the reasons why people leave or check out emotionally? Well, for starters, they just they feel they're not treated well. They don't feel like their work has any value. They don't feel like they're bringing their full and authentic self to bear in terms of their roles and responsibilities. Maybe a lot of what they bring to the table is not being utilized. Their prior experience, education, professional certifications, their professional association memberships, maybe their outside community engagement, volunteer work, language proficiency, cultural diversity. Maybe they studied and lived abroad. So when you think about the totality of what your people have to offer versus maybe a very small piece of that that's being leveraged, there's a golden opportunity to go back as an organization and rethink and revisit the way you unleash people's untapped potential. Some other reasons of why people either leave you or they check out emotionally is they don't feel like your organization truly reflects the values you claim that you do or that match your people's values. Maybe you're not working proactively enough to engage your people's ideas, to implement new products or services, find new revenue streams, or maybe reduce costs, become more operationally efficient by revisiting their ideas on improving policies, procedures, and processes. So they just feel like you're not doing enough to engage them. Perhaps it's that they just don't understand where your organization is going. Maybe they don't believe that your strategy is effective. Perhaps they're being treated poorly. Maybe they feel that your organization is not being sincere, that you're not living the values and behaviors that you claim that you are. Maybe they just don't feel any connection to your organization. So we in organizational development space talk about employees being engaged and empowered and that they're intrinsically motivated. But there's the conclusion of that is there's a significant disconnect between where your people want to be professionally and where your organization is or is not capable of taking them, which gets to another reason why people check out and then often leave is they just don't see a path forward. They don't see any opportunity to advance in your organization, whether it's career mobility or ascension, moving up through promotion. Maybe they just don't feel like there's any opportunity to expand their skill sets, that they're not being given new workflow. They're not given new opportunities to stretch themselves or embrace learning. Maybe they're lifelong learners and they just feel that they're unfulfilled. Maybe you're not giving them opportunities to train and develop or to pursue other certifications or credentials. Maybe your organization is so stuck in a pre-COVID mindset of what got us here is good enough that you're not willing to take the extra step to go from good to great. So what happens is your employees, when they're not feeling any sense of kindred spirit, any sense of connectedness or purpose, maybe they feel that your organization is floundering. Maybe they're certainly picking up on your organization's behaviors that you don't value them, that you treat them as, let's say, an asset, which most organizations do. Then that's when they check out emotionally and they start to say, when things improve or I see some light at the end of the tunnel, I'm going to bail. I'm going to leave. And talking about employees not feeling fulfilled, it's important to understand that the number one cause of people becoming disenfranchised and silent quitting, detaching emotionally, maybe sharpening their resume and their LinkedIn profile in advance of starting to seek elsewhere, is this just overall pervasive feeling of you do not value them. And there's some indicators that when I go in and I engage with organizations, it's pretty clear the mindset of the organization is not mapped to caring about your people, right? When you talk about your people, using words like asset, how thoughtless and damaging is that? People are not assets to be managed. It's beneath human dignity to treat people as if they're a cog in a machine. Per Gandhi. People are not expense. People are not payroll, your largest cost. That is a horrible way and a truly enlightened way to look at people not being valued by your organization. People are not an asset. People are not an expense. Human beings, your employees, are your only lasting competitive advantage. You have three levers to pull to move your organization in the right direction. One is strategy, and strategy changes all the time when faced with external considerations that hit you in the marketplace. Operations is the second lever. Well, you can achieve all the operational efficiency you need, but at some point you're going to squeeze as much blood out of the stone and optimize your performance operationally. But yet, a pool of untapped value potential and wealth resides in your people. Your people are your only lasting competitive advantage. It's up to your organization to understand why people stay with you and why people are committed and loyal to your organization versus why they leave. And then that's where I'm often brought in, by the way, in my work, is to shift the organization's culture, is to build an amazing culture that truly understands and values and strives to achieve through your people lasting competitive advantage. I usually use the term unleash your people's untapped potential. And here's how you do that. Most organizations are still stuck. They're trapped inside that command-controlled 20th century pyramid structure of a few people in power at the top C-suite. Then you have people who control the masses. They're what we call middle management. And then you have the bottom of the pyramid, right? Those people who are client-facing staff. They're the ones who know how to get the work done. And yet, if you think about the pyramid and all the layers of bureaucratic structure and reporting accountability, that's why so many organizations still fail. You need to shrink it by empowering your people, enabling them, coaching, mentoring, promoting, sponsoring, recognizing, rewarding, engaging, empowering. All of those terms apply to shrinking the organization structure, have less layers of managerial reporting, and as a result, unleash people's potential. Here are some signs that your organization has people who have probably checked out emotionally and are planning to leave you. If you hire people based on that 20th century idea of a job description, meaning you have this little role in an organizational org chart and you have certain responsibilities that need to be performed by that job title, you have a job description and you go out and you find people to do perform those few responsibilities. What you're not doing, and this is where the 21st century empowered, amazing organizational culture shifts towards, is identifying that the true benefit for your organization lies in bringing in the totality of the individual. And I mentioned this earlier. It's their technical skill set, their ability to get that job done, but understanding that with technological transformation, the rate of change, think AI, ChatGPT, think about all those transformative new technologies. What people are doing today is going to transition pretty greatly every 3, 4, 6, 12 months. So you also want to bring the totality of what an individual offers. Hire for amazing rock star superhero talents instead of those technical skills. Things like critical thinking, intrinsic motivation, problem solving, leadership, the ability to drive themselves individually but work collaboratively in teams. People who have already demonstrated that they want to leave an amazing legacy. They love to ask two very annoying questions to many organizations. Why are we doing it this way? And what if? So when you start to think about bringing in the best talent and making sure that you not only retain them, but you maximize their contributions, you maximize their employee ROI, you maximize the totality of what they bring into your organization from a potential standpoint. You're going from an organization that brings people in to perform tasks and stay just for the moment to keeping the most amazing employees engaged and have them achieve amazing things for you. And that's why they stay. See, you don't want to hire just any old person who can do the job at hand. You want to shift your mindset and thus your cultural integrity and behavior to align with, we are a world-class organization, whether we're 5 employees or 50,000. And we operate in such a way that we want to unleash our people's untapped potential. And that's what I spent a lot of time. I spent a decade researching that went into my second book, The Compassionate Organization. So there's a distinction between why employees stay with you and why they leave. The people who you're hiring who believe in doing good work is good enough, they're there for the paycheck. The reason they stay with you, regardless of maybe the things you do that would make other great employees leave, they're satisfied with the status quo. Change is scary. They like that thing that keeps you anchored to them, called indentured servitude or a paycheck. They're happy with, where they are now. They're resistant to change. They're scared about going out and putting themselves into the market, again, for very valid reasons. Or you hire the most amazing people with the most amazing demonstrated track record of success who are already proven at solving problems that may keep your organization and you as a leader up at night. They are constantly challenging themselves to do greater. They demand excellence in your organization and how you engage the communities that you work and live in. They have very high expectations for themselves and others. See, the organizational workplace is shifting in the 21st century. You have tens of thousands of maturers and boomers who are leaving the workforce or being forced to every day. And the composition of our workplace is shifting to be comprised more with the majority of millennials and Gen Zs. They have entirely different expectations and experience with the employee-employer relationship. So that's the totality that I can offer you in terms of mindset around why your employees stay with you and why employees leave. The challenge is, if you're truly committed to building a world-class organization where you can identify, interview, recruit, bring on board, retain, grow, develop the top talent, the best employees, then you're fundamentally shifting your mindset to shift the relationship that you have with your people. Thanks for taking the time to come in today and check out this webinar. If you haven't already done so, go on down, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video shorts. There's many of them that provide really actionable and timely best practice about how to grow an amazing workplace culture, how to find, bring in, and retain top talent, and create a world-class organization. Thank you.